I call David Shearer.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. And I think what we have heard there is one part of the story. And it's the good part of the story, and it's part of which we actually agree with. We agree with the need to streamline our customs. We need to have a better system than we have at the moment. But the part that Mr Hayes left out, and that Mr Maurice Williamson went apoplectic on last night in his attempt to try and show how wonderful this was, I think he does protest a little too much. But it's a good strategy. It's a good strategy to get out there and be on the attack rather than be on the defence, because that, sir, is where he should be. But let me start with a little more of this story. Let me flesh this out a little more than what we have at the moment. And as I say, it's a little bit depends on how you tell the story about this single trade window. We agree with it. We will support the legislation because the Customs and MPI together need to have a better system that they've had. And we introduced this concept when Labor was in government. The current system, sir, is 15 years old. It's starting to get out of date. It's not up with the play. And therefore, sir, with the immense amount of importing and exporting that we have in this country, this will minimise the transaction costs, in theory anyway, and also help us to be in sync with the World Customs Organisation, and also help with some of our biosecurity priorities that we want to have out there as well. But, sir, what Mr Hayes and Mr Williamson didn't talk about was the IT system that is going off the rails. It is going off the rails. And we heard Mr Williamson stand up and talk about no, it's nothing like NovoPay. No, it's nothing like Insys. It's completely different. Well, sir, let's have a look at this. First of all, the budget itself has gone up 17%. And it may have been flagged, but it was started off at $76 million, and it's now gone up to nearly $90 million. $90 million, sir, that is a 17% increase. But, sir, the devil is in the detail, because that's not the big problem of what's been going on here. The big problem is that what was promised has not been delivered. What was promised under that $90 million has not been delivered. And what we have now, sir, and what Mr Hayes regretfully didn't talk about, was the fact that we have the old system under Customs, CUSMOD, operating in parallel with the new system. Now, he said that's a good idea, and on one level I agree with him. We do not want to have a NovoPay where you chucked out Datacom and immediately had NovoPay fall over. But what we do not see in the immediate future, and actually not even in the medium or even the long-term future, is any confidence that CUSMOD will be phased out as it's supposed to be. Because the tranche one of this funding, which we just talked about, $90 million, has not delivered what this government was promised it would by IBM. And so what has happened? Well, I tell you what's happened. There's a major scrap going on now, sir, between Customs and IBM is not delivering what it said it would do on the dates that it said it would do it. This is, sir, another IT system that is going right off the rails. Right off the rails. Let me tell you what the State Services Commission, Treasury and the DPMC Performance Framework talked about when they talked about this system. Tranche 1, it says, will provide a trade single window as well as some new risk and intelligence tools. The trade single window seems well advanced. In many ways is the lower risk part of the joint border management system. The lower risk part. What they go on to say, sir, is that actually the big part of what this is has not been delivered. So Mr Hayes could be right. Right now there could be some transactions going through, but it's not doing what it should be doing, which is underwriting or looking out for some of that risk. And it goes on to say, it was disconcerting to hear that the scope for the risk and intelligence tools had not been finalised when they did their review. This is some time ago, but it is still not finalised as of now. Added to this, we were advised that the main contractor was having difficulty in bedding down these new tools, and although we were not able to explore this in any detail, it is certainly something that Customs needs to address. Sir, this hasn't been addressed. This is going on, and if you talk to anybody in and around the Customs who are able to talk, because there's a major operation in place right now in closing down and shutting up anybody that wants to talk about this, or you talk out amongst people in the IT industry who know anything about this, they will confirm 100% that this is severely off the rails and it is not meeting either its scope of work that it promised it would do, or, sir, the timing in which it was supposed to do it. And right now, Customs is contemplating taking IBM to court to ensure that they are able to actually deliver what they said they were going to do on the time that they said they were going to do it. But of course, this is election year. And who wants another Novo pay in election year? So Customs has closed this right down, and I don't disagree with John Hayes when he said Customs is a well-run organisation. It is. But in this case, they're out of their depth. They're completely out of their depth, and so is the minister who grandstands himself as being the self-appointed expert on IT situations. I can tell you this is well and truly out of the scope of a brand new iPad that he happened to buy the other day. This is in big territory, sir, not the little territory. So what does the SSC go on to say? There are many examples of information technology programs having struggled or failed due to poor scope control, and scope control for JBMS should be addressed as quickly as possible. The scope should be locked down, and any further changes should only be agreed at the most senior level and for only absolute essential changes. In other words, it's disagreeing with Mr. Williamson's add-on. And this is what sunk the INSA system, sir, 15 years ago. It kept being added on and added on and added on. Sir, this report was in 2012 and it hasn't been fixed. It has not been fixed. It has not been fixed, and we are now looking at a total bill of this program, sir, a total bill of $204 million, of which just $90 million is the capex, the capital expenditure. The rest of it is the operational expenditure, and it's supposed to finish in 2021, except it won't. It will not be able to achieve what it said it was going to achieve at the end of Tranche 1, and when Tranche 2, and we're left in the dark about what's going to be in Tranche 2, sir, because the papers can't be released. Tranche 2, sir, Tranche 2 is not even ready to be implemented because it's not in any way ready to go. This is a debacle, sir. It is something that is unfolding as we speak, and the minister is desperately trying to cover it up and keep it out of the public eye. It is at the centre of the problem is the core of the system around the technologies for smarter targeting of people and craft crossing our borders. And that part, that most sophisticated part, the part where we were going to get most benefit from this system, is nowhere near in place. So you can stand up and talk about how many people and how many seconds have gone through the system, and it's only a fraction of what it should be. But right now, that the proper technologies that we were promised that would be delivered have not been delivered. The budget is out of place, and the old system is running alongside a new system with all the costs that is included, ensuring that the old system and new system are running side by side. And there is now no date for closing down the old system. The old system is continuing on because the new system has fallen over. All of the technologies around the new system are not in place. Sir, this is a debacle. which will be on the scale of Novo Pay, sir, and it couldn't happen at a better time in the middle of an election year.
I call Stephen Browning.
Thanks, Mr Speaker. I rise to speak to the third reading on these bills.